Hello there, and welcome back to Friendonkey Wrestling Season 2. Last time out, we're still reeling from the effects of Night of Champions. Imperium making their presence felt across the brand, really, as Ilya Dragunov defending his title against Ricochet. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. Definitely worth a watch. As standing as your new and once again Cruiserweight champion is the one and only Ricochet. But then in the main event, Kaiser and Vinci, called out by the Usos. They relished the challenge and managed to capitalize, pinning the tag team champions and putting them firmly at the front of the queue for a title opportunity down the line. Speaking of champions, the FDW World Champion will be in the main event this evening as he stares into our soul. But first up, we've got some business to sort out between Gargano and Ciampa. I alluded last week that these guys have been granted the match in the ring to settle their differences because clearly the tag team days seem to be over. Tommaso Ciampa appearing to step into the ring, going one-on-one with Giovanni Vinci, but Johnny Gargano, what on earth is going on? Gargano really unhappy with the fact last week that, or last time out at least, he was left to fend for himself against the Viking Raiders, which led to him getting absolutely flattened. Well, we were scheduled to see Ciampa in action here this evening with Giovanni Vinci, but these two clearly cannot let bygones be bygones. Johnny Gargano just brutalizing down Tommaso Ciampa. And what is going to happen here? As the ref called for the bell, called for Johnny Gargano to be removed, are we going to be seeing the match? Clearly not. I think they need to sort this out between themselves. This thing's kicking off at a brisk pace here on FDW here this evening. Vinci just watching on from the centre of the ring as his bold adversary Tommaso Ciampa, who they've had many back and forth with, is just getting beaten down now by a frustrated Johnny Gargano. And I think it's fair to say that the halcyon days of DIY are over. It's Gargano now putting Ciampa down as this is getting out of hand. Doug the ref taking a step back as the match appears to have been called off. Gargano just standing tall and dissecting Tommaso Ciampa. And this is a premeditated assault. After Ciampa clobbered Gargano last week, we knew there was going to be retaliation, but I didn't expect it to be like this. Not at all. As the crowd chant for Johnny Wrestling, they seem to be on his side. They don't blame him. But Ciampa looking to get some measure of comeuppance against Johnny Gargano. I think we've seen the last of these two brawling with each other as Tommaso Ciampa drops Gargano onto his knee, face first, flicking Gargano off the ropes into a double underhook suplex. And now Gargano struggling to get back to his feet. There's been no bell, ladies and gentlemen. Gargano slammed onto his face there from Tommaso Ciampa. As the Black Heart wraps Gargano up for the cloverleaf, just wrenching on the lower back. And these two are out to hurt each other. No sportsmanship about it. This is a brawl. Gargano now with Ciampa in the Gargano escape. Off the second rope comes Gargano, just looking to show that he is Johnny Wrestling and he is the true force of the tag team. It's a real shame these two have shown glimpses of success, but far too often the miscommunication, not being on the same page, is costing them. And now it seems Ciampa just battering down on Gargano on the outside. These two men who once called themselves brothers, feuding once again. Gargano just clubbed by on the side of the head by Tommaso Ciampa, who wipes his feet of Johnny Gargano. FDW off to a bang here this evening. Still to come, we do have Drew McIntyre in singles action. He'll be taking on, I believe, Tyler Breeze, but who knows at this stage, it could all go completely to pot. Collar and elbow tie-up, and these two just continue to wail on each other. There's been no bell, this is not an official match, they are just out here to hurt each other. As Ciampa bangs Johnny Gargano off the bottom rope. Gargano getting fired up now, looking to come back at Tommaso Ciampa. And we ain't seen the last of these two, as for some reason we get a notification about Otis and Dexter Lumis on Monday Night Raw. Thanks, game. Next up, though, a fatal 4-way elimination match. Number one contendership on the line for this one, as Belair needs a challenger. Everyone who stepped up to her has come up short, so we'll do this officially down the traditional routes. Determine a number one contender. Winner gets Belair. As SummerSlam looms on the horizon, you got to think that's where they'll be looking ahead to. And elimination style, of course, it is not one fall to a finish. First pinfall does not secure your automatic victory. You need to be the last woman standing. First up, Chelsea Green, who we've seen glimpses of this season. She looks to get an opportunity for herself to take on the FDW Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. Next up, Cora Jade. Again, yet to find that success here on the Perfect brand. Or could this be the opportunity she's been waiting for? Strutting down to the ring with ever the confidence that she exudes for someone so young. Next up, a Jose favourite with a hoedown, Fallon Henley. Again, yet to make the impression that we thought she would do here on the Purple brand, coming up short on so many occasions. But could this be the chance? She'll need to outlast 3 other women. But she's proven herself well in these sort of matchups before. Multi-woman matches seem to be her forte. Could this be the chance that she needs? And last but certainly not least, the Pirate Princess herself, Kairi Sane, who, lest we forget, challenged Bianca Belair a short while ago. Coming up short on that occasion, but finding herself with a spot in this matchup. This could be a chance to get back to winning ways after making such a strong impression in her debut in that women's gauntlet match. She too has shown how well she can go in a multi-woman type scenario with multiple opponents. She's going to need to duplicate that success here this evening, outlasting Henley, Jade and Green. As Jimmy calls for the bell, we're off to the races. Cora Jade and Kairi Sane go for each other straight away. Jade with a running bulldog as Chelsea takes things to the corner with a boot to the face of Fallon Henley. How disrespectful is that, as Jimmy watches on. Cora Jade now just kicking down Kairi Sane. And based on track record alone, you've got to say this is any woman's matchup. As Fallon Henley, the country girl, grabs a guitar and just smashes off the face of Kairi Sane. Pieces of guitar littered all over the ring already, and it's broken down in a hurry. Henley showing she knows what it's all about. She's not afraid to go to that place. That's what we like to see on FDW. Sane now comes off the ropes with a swinging neckbreaker on Fallon Henley. Sane with a more traditional approach to things rather than Henley imitating Jeff Jarrett. Cora Jade with a hip toss into the follow-up basement drop kick. Henley off the second rope into the Bulldog. Bits of guitar all over the place as the country girl littered the place with debris. Sane seeking to take the fight to Fallon Henley. A reminder that this is an elimination style match. Picking up the 1, 2, 3. You'll need to do multiple if you're looking to win. As Cora Jade, in the game of one-upsmanship with Fallon Henley, yeets a guitar at Henley as it shatters into tiny pieces. Shrapnel all over the shop. Chelsea Green throwing Henley around the ring, and you've got to think Henley has got to be feeling the effects of that guitar. As Cora Jade now looks to pick up the first elimination on Chelsea Green. Jimmy with a 2 count. Green with the wherewithal to kick out. And Green still with a point to prove, showing that she's just as serious a contender as anyone else on the roster. As Henley rolls through and connects with a basement drop kick. Shoulder barge there from Henley as Jade gets back between the ropes and tees off on Chelsea Green. He reverses through and it is chaotic. Cora Jade with a super kick to the side of Kairi Sane. Could this be the first elimination? Sane. Deceptive power in that small Japanese woman, able to kick out of Jade's offense. Pinfall submission must take place between the ropes as what on earth has Fallon Henley got a Slim Jim? Fallon Henley brutalising Chelsea Green on the outside with a Slim Jim as Kairi Sane looks to pick up a pinfall over Cora Jade. Chelsea being snapped into a Slim Jim now. Fallon Henley has got that bit between her teeth, fired up here. She needs to think about getting an elimination and capitalising on all that momentum. Chelsea with the stamina, playing possum on the outside there, sees her opportunity and just smashes Kairi Sane off the ring post. And could this be the first elimination? Henley. Only a 2 count there. Jade able to kick out as Kairi Sane putting even more damage in. And Chelsea Green on the outside, seeking to add more weaponry to the mix. And she grabs the trash can. Fallon Henley off the top rope. Huge splash in the middle of the ring. Cora Jade able to kick out as the camera remains focused on Chelsea Green and Kairi Sane. This is a fast-paced matchup. Smart from Chelsea Green, stretching at the arms and the limbs of Kairi Sane, removing that offense. Chelsea knows this is a war of attrition. You've got to go the distance as Cora Jade now looks to capitalise and get the first elimination as she does. And that's a bit of an upset as Cora Jade, still with the momentum, flings herself to the outside with reckless abandon, taking down Kairi Sane. And then she flips through, taking out Chelsea Green for good measure. Jade eliminating Henley. We are down to 3. Henley dazed and confused on the outside, not knowing what day of the week it is, let alone where she is. Slim Jim, guitar, we've seen it all. A trash can perched precariously, and there's a chair as well. What piece of furniture is going to be used next? Not that you can count a Slim Jim as a piece of furniture. Nor a guitar for that matter. Depends how you sit or not, I suppose. As the bin breaks the fourth dimension and sinks into the mat. The presence of Shinsuke Nakamura lingers on. Cora Jade now seeking to keep that momentum on her side. She's picked up an elimination, her first pinfall, I believe, here on FDW. She'll need to pick up her second, at the very least. Potentially her third, which would be huge, eliminating all three other women from the match. If she's able to do so. But taking down these two women will be no easy feat, as Kairi Sane wipes her feet of Cora Jade. Green now back to a standing position, getting Sane bounced off the apron. There's press from Cora Jade, and I must say Cora Jade has been putting on a stellar performance this match. Chelsea having been taking a battering in this match so far. She seeks to grab more weaponry and add it. She grabs a kendo. It's traditional, but you love to see it. Very non-traditional match. Kairi Sane with a big DDT to Chelsea Green. Pinfall submission must take the place between the ropes. As Sane knows this, flinging Cora Jade back to the middle of the ring. Cora Jade looking for a running knee there. Sane with it scouted, look for the pinfall as Chelsea Green interestingly stands back and lets it happen. Cora Jade eliminated, we're down to Green and we're down to Sane. One of these two women will challenge Bianca Belair at SummerSlam for the FDW Women's Championship. Chelsea Green seeks to make that opportunity hers. Taunting now. That's not the way to go about it, and that could be the chink in the armour, just the opening that Kairi Sane needs to capitalise and grab the #1 contendership with both hands, earn that opportunity. Chelsea reverses. She gets her up into the Canadian Destroyer, folding Kairi Sane up like a pretzel. Chelsea now taunting, thinking about it, twisting her through. Kairi Sane caught where she doesn't want to be, into the I'm Prettier. Chelsea gets her far enough away from the rope, cleverly hooking both legs. And the #1 contender for the Women's Championship is none other than Chelsea Green. Well earned, that woman, outlasting three very big competitors in that one. Could have gone either way. Pretty much every woman picking up an elimination that much. Jade eliminating Henley, Kane eliminating Jade. Sane eliminating Jade rather than Kane. That's completely different wrestler. And Chelsea Green standing tall at the end, eliminating Kairi Sane as the #1 contender. Shifting gears. Cruiserweight action now. As Ricochet looking to restore the Cruiserweight division to its former glory. Sitting atop the mountain once again as a 3-time champion. And he is the one and only Ricochet. Bringing respect and prestige to the purple belt. Granting opportunities. Who should step up but the luchador himself, Dragon Lee. And this should be a good match. Singles action, no championship on the line. Just Dragon Lee looking to step up once again. A competitor who's shown flashes of brilliance at his time here at FDW. A pinfall victory over the now men's world champion Drew McIntyre, who we'll be seeing later on this evening. But now he's looking to solidify his name and immortalise it in Cruiserweight glory. And what better way to do so than to step up to Ricochet of all people. Referee Doug calling for the bell as we're off to the races. Both these men with such a varied style. Dragon Lee already to the second rope, rolling through. Looking for an early pinfall attempt here, and that could be what upsets Ricochet. He's going to need to dig a bit deeper than that as Ricochet connects with a big boot. Then off the second rope into almost a bulldog-like attempt there. Now Ricochet hooks the leg and gets a 2 count. 2 early pinfall attempts here as both these men look to get the job done quickly. Ricochet potentially feeling the effects of fighting for his championship, putting that target on himself once again as eyes turn to him. But he's no stranger to championship success. Standing shooting star press. It's what you love to see. As he gets himself psyched up, does Ricochet, taunting Dragon Lee to get back between the ropes, but Ricochet over the top rope. And that's the athleticism. That's what makes him the 3-time Cruiserweight champion. Another standing shooting star press on the outside. Just outrageous display. And a corkscrew neck breaker there from Ricochet to Dragon Lee. Has Dragon Lee bitten off more than he can chew? Time will tell, but we're up to a count of 5 now. Trev knows he needs to get this back between the ropes. But he doesn't want to, just beating down on Dragon Lee there with a package pile driver. Count of 7 now from Doug the ref. Back between the ropes, let's get this done traditional styley, boys. Count of 8 as Ricochet grabs himself just that little bit extra breathing time. It's these little tricks of the trade that he keeps his stamina going for so long that he's able to dig that little bit extra deep in his matches. Dragon Lee with a quick DDT there. Ricochet not seeing it coming. But still with the wherewithal to punch out into a code breaker. As he goes for a cover, is it enough to put away Dragon Lee? Enough fight in the luchador yet to kick out. Ricochet's going to need to go a little harder than that. As he heads to the top rope, moonsault. Twisting in mid-air, breaking the laws of physics. Count of 2. Still not enough to put away Dragon Lee. And is Ricochet frustrated, impressed with Dragon Lee's offensive here as he goes for a second rope moonsault. As he fires himself up. Almost calling for the people's... Is he calling for it? The people's moonsault. In an homage. A standing shooting star press, but this time Dragon Lee with it scouted. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, I'm Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee now with Ricochet folded up like an accordion, just dumped on his neck. I don't care who you are, that has got to hurt. Being held in the position for so long and then suplexed like that. Ricochet not fought a competitor such as Dragon Lee before. Other than Rey Mysterio, of course. But that's season 1, this is season 2. It's the new blood. Big knee there from Dragon Lee. And perhaps with the padding there, that just about protected Ricochet. Will Dragon Lee need to pull the pad down? 2 count there. You've got to think if you're Dragon Lee, getting a win over the champion puts you at the front of the line. Standing shooting star press from Dragon Lee to Ricochet. Proving to the champion that he can go. He's on his level. He deserves a shot. Ricochet with a huge boot. And it appears that Dragon Lee is busted open, can't quite tell on the mask. But Dragon Lee reversal, slamming Ricochet onto his back, and could this be enough to put him away? It's a 2 count, it's a 3. As Dragon Lee stands tall, and oh my god, it's Ilya Dragunov, former Cruiserweight champion. Not happy at all with the result of this match, just laying out Dragon Lee and Ricochet. Well, we said last week that I don't think we've seen the last of Dragunov, given his vicious aside his mean streak and brutality that we've seen this season. And clearly he's not done with Ricochet, but now Dragon Lee, who has the pinfall victory over the champion. So what's going to come from that, we don't know. Moving into the main event this evening then, we have Drew McIntyre taking on LA Knight. I stand corrected, earlier I said it was Tyler Breeze. Easy to confuse the two. But we've not seen LA Knight for a while. Looking for a little tune-up match, as is Drew McIntyre. Once again seeking to prove that he's a fighting champion. Looking out to the ring proudly with the FDW World Championship. McIntyre's going to need to get momentum on his side. Fired up is Drew. And that's a proud FDW champion after having ripped the belt from Rollins. Anyone who's stepped to him has been knocked down so far. Will LA Knight be another notch on the belt?
And his opponent from Los Angeles,
There are many notches on that belt, many made by former champion Bronson Reed. And just by saying his name conjures images of dominance. McIntyre looking to follow in the footsteps of greatness, carving his own path as the FDW champion. But as is LA Knight, in what is a bit of a throwback. It was, if you remember back at Backlash, Drew McIntyre fought LA Knight for a shot at Seth Rollins. McIntyre victorious on that occasion. And now it's the first time they've gone one-on-one since that meeting. This time Drew stands there as the champion. So Drew knows he has what it takes to beat LA Knight. Is LA Knight the same man he was a few months ago? By the looks of it, it appears so. Drew McIntyre hitting 10 big clubbing blows on the chest of LA Knight, and that's going to take all the wind from you. Knight looking to regroup on the outside. McIntyre just egging Knight on to get back between the ropes. Knight tied up in the ropes now as McIntyre firmly in control. Oop, swing and a miss from LA Knight there. Perhaps a little dazed and confused. That's a little PTSD knowing that he's already been beaten by Drew McIntyre once. He can't allow himself to be beaten again. He wants his name back in the conversation. McIntyre throwing Knight around like he's nothing. That's the Scottish Warrior. Looks to cement himself at the top of the mountain. FDW faithful always getting their money's worth, but more so this evening, seeing their world champion in action. Knight in control. As McIntyre throws him around, but Knight with it scouted. He knows what to expect from Drew McIntyre now. The only man to have fought Drew McIntyre multiple times as he now drops a fist on McIntyre's head. Counter 5 now from the ref. As LA Knight gets up Drew McIntyre in a precarious position and hits a huge fireman's toss on the outside. Knight back between the ropes. McIntyre needs to come to his senses. The fear of taking a count-out loss, and surely Knight doesn't want to win that way. But we're back in the ring immediately. Momentum back on the side of McIntyre. As Knight carrying Drew round the ring, just dumping him off the second turnbuckle, and he looks for a pinfall. Only a 1 count. Oh, barely a 2, says Doug. Stand corrected. Doug looking fairly bug-eyed. Knight now frustrated with a big boot, but it's not enough to take down the champion. You've got to go the extra mile. Knight looking to spear Drew into the corner, but Drew seeing it coming, just reverse into a DDT and follow up. Big strikes there from McIntyre. Deadlift slam from McIntyre. And Drew going to the well once again, looking for that big dive to the outside. Not connecting on this occasion. Knight perhaps sensing it coming. He knows what Drew's about. But this is still a dominant display from Drew McIntyre. He drops a huge sidewalk slam. And now the frustrated stomps. Just kicking LA Knight down into the dirt. Perhaps Drew feels that Knight is beneath him. He couldn't beat him for the #1 contendership. What makes him think he can beat him now? Potential 3 count here from Drew McIntyre as Knight still with enough to kick out. Drew heads to the corner as he calls for the 3-2-1. Into the Claymore. Will this be the 1-2-3 though? And there you have it. Standing tall, Drew McIntyre, your FDW champion. Successful once again. But clearly unhappy with this. The ring general hasn't forgotten. He doesn't forget. Clubbing Drew McIntyre with his own championship. If his intentions weren't clear before, they are now. Gunter is here. Yes, he's been supporting his stablemates. Yes, he's been helping out with the tag matches, but he is the leader. He wants Drew. And who wouldn't? He's the FDW champion. Another successful outing for FDW. Stay tuned for next episode where we'll see what happens next. I'm looking forward to it, and I very much hope you are too. See you soon.